No. Is he all right?
They're not too deep. I think he's gonna make it. But you can't do that! Cody, someone's got a claim on this!
Watch me.
It's the worst kind of hooliganism, and I won't stand for it.
I understand.
It ain't right, Teaspoon.
And I demand full restitution for this wanton disregard of property, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, well, I'll do it again the next time, too.
How dare you?
Now, take it easy, Mr. Drummond. You'll be reimbursed. I promise you I'll take it out of Boris' paycheck myself.
The hell you will, Teaspoon! That wire ain't nothing but the devil's handiwork, and it's carving up the whole prairie like some old lady fencing off her backyard.
Cody!
The whole world is going to hell, Teaspoon. Just like Hezekiah said.
Cody, I know how hard you took Hezekiah's death, but you got to leave that behind you, son.
I tried. But ever since his death, Teaspoon, I can't help but see life through his eyes.
And you'll be looking at life through the eyes of a man who gave up on it long before it took his own.
I don't know what else to do. I mean, I've never been this sad and angry all rolled up into one.
Tell you what you do, son. You got a long ride ahead. Why don't you let the majesty of the plains remind you what a precious thing life really is? Then when you get to St. Joe, take your time coming back. You have yourself a little holiday, huh?
Some holiday.
You okay?
I'll be fine. That's a precious cargo that I almost got killed over?
This mail is damn precious to the people who sent it, Cody. You ought to know that.
Yeah, right. What's that?
That's our latest service.
Russell Majors and Waddell is the one building the telegraph?
We're just taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and stabbing the Pony Express right in the back.
We all got to change with the times.
In progress. Don't care who it tramples on.
Now, don't worry. It'll take years for the telegraph to creep all the way west. Unless, of course, there's war.
Why is that?
Well, when men start killing, they usually get wonderful inventive.
And it's the Pony Express they're gonna be killing. Excuse me, old timer, you know where I can get some bandages? Oh, yeah. Thank you kindly. Let me get some bandages here, please. Timmy, is that you? Cody! Hey! Timmy!
What? Whoa, what happened to you?
I ran into some Cheyenne on my last run.
What the hell are you doing here?
Ain't no more express in these parts. Ain't cut all the short routes I was riding.
Why?
Telegraph. Finished stringing the lines 2 months ago. Clerking's the only employment I could find.
Boy, we ain't got all day.
Will you take care, all right?
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
This is what I've been looking for. This is what I was talking about.
Can I help you? You buying or looking? Because if you're looking, try outside. There's more to see.
I'm buying. Let me get some of that there.
He was a nice kid when I knew him.
A great showman.
He's the best shot I ever seen.
A great showman.
He was a nice kid when I knew him.
Who the hell are you?
Just consider me the hand of the Lord.
Well, 1 minute I was pouring down that red eye, and next thing I knew, I was upside down in that alley. That's the whole story.
Not quite the whole story.
Excuse me?
You don't strike me as a wastrel, Mr. Cody. Something pretty powerful must have driven you to dive so deep into that bottle.
Well, a close friend of mine died, Mr. Poole. A great man named Hezekiah Horn.
Hezekiah Horn is dead?
Yes, by his own hand.
Why?
He shot and killed his only son.
Oh, dear God.
But that weren't the only reason. He was eaten up by the way our country's going to ruin. and that he was powerless to do anything about it.
Tragic end to a great man.
Yes. He was a great man.
Though, I have to be honest with you, Mr. Cody, I don't share in the same despair that Hezekiah must have felt at his end. These are challenging times, and I feel obliged that good men should rise up and overcome these powerful influences that are so hell-bent on destroying this beautiful land of ours. You've gone and launched into a sermon in the middle of your dinner. Forgive me, Mr. Cody. Perhaps I should be saving all this hot air for tomorrow afternoon.
What's tomorrow afternoon?
I'm going to be speaking over at Blanchard Falls. Come by if you're so inclined. It might be of interest to you.
Thank you. Maybe I will.
Get a good rest.
I wish I could repay your kindness, but I've lost all my money.
There's no need. Your acquaintance is repayment in full.
And as I look down on this happy couple here today, I'd like to offer a few personal reflections on the hallowed institution of marriage, with which I am so very familiar, having traveled down that sacred road on 6 occasions myself. And yes, though I am loath to admit that none of those heavenly bonds took root, I beseech you not to lose faith, but to take heart. For if nothing else, the odds are on our side that this will turn out good.
Amen.
And so do you, Millicent Ermengarde. Take this man, Barnett Hampton, to be your lawfully wedded husband.
I do.
And to you, Barnett Hampton, take this woman, Millicent Ermengarde, to be your lawfully wedded wife.
I
do.
Do.
Good. And so, by the power vested in me by the territorial governor, I now pronounce you man and wife. Kiss the bride, Barnett.
These two can't get hitched. That's my wife. I saw a new Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned to meet her husband.
You tell it, brother. You tell it now. You listen to this man.
And I heard a great voice coming out of heaven from God saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he shall dwell with them and be their God." God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes.
Amen.
And there shall be no more death.
That's right.
No sorrow, no crying, nor shall there be any more pain.
You tell it, brother.
For the former things are washed away.
That's right.
Yes. Yes, brother.
But for the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the whoremongers and the murderers and the idolaters and all the liars, for they shall have their place in the lake that burneth with fire and brimstone.
Tell it, brother.
And with mercy in my left hand and with justice in my right, I shall be his terrible, swift sword of righteousness.
Finally, I summoned my courage, asked her to be my missus. She accepted. We exchanged vows. We lived together as the most contented husband and wife in the territory till that dreadful day when she disappeared. Ever since, my life's been utter torment.
Barnett,
Teaspoon?
you want to tell your side of the story?
I guess.
Where'd you meet?
Church social.
She approached you?
Teaspoon
Forgive me, you struck up a conversation with her. What happened then?
Paid court.
Where'd you do that?
Boarding house.
Not in her room, I assume.
Front parlor.
You gave her gifts.
Tried.
But?
She wouldn't take them.
And then one day, you proposed marriage.
Yep.
And she accepted.
Made that day the happiest of my life.
Since she ain't your wife, and she never will be, she's mine. Liar! You think you...
Lucius, Barnett, stop it. Now, Lucius, I hate to inform you, but by your own logic, I wouldn't be any more married to you than I am Barnett.
Why not?
Because I had 7 husbands by the time I met you.
Okay, here I come. What's so funny?
The long johns. Kid, it ain't like I never seen you without 'em on before. That's better already.
You ain't hiding a couple of husbands on me, are you?
Kid, I ain't lived long enough to have a couple of husbands.
No, but you're pretty enough to have a couple hundred.
Kid, what's wrong with you?
I just don't feel right.
Sure feels right to me.
Oh, yeah. Just ain't the way I was brought up. I was taught that when a man and woman ain't been doing what we've been doing, that it ain't proper unless...
Excuse me, kid, but you ain't fixing to propose.
No. Well, maybe... I guess not. Well, yeah, maybe I am.
Well, then I'm afraid I won't be able to accept.
Why not?
Because where I was brought up, I was taught that when a man comes proposing, it's supposed to be on bended knee.
I love you.
I love you too, kid.
I swear it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
So you won't forget me, Mr. Poole.
How could I possibly forget you? Thank you so much. I don't think I'll forget any of you ladies. Thanks again. Ladies, good afternoon.
Mr. Poole,
Mr. Cody, welcome.
I heard you speak this afternoon. I was interested in what you had to say.
Good, good. I'm glad you could make it.
I had a question, though.
Well, I hope I can answer. Mr. Cody, my brother Caleb.
Mr. Cody.
Nice to meet you. That's quite a bounty.
Oh, indeed, I am truly blessed. What about that question you had, William?
When you were talking about being the terrible swift sword, what does that mean?
Just meant that the new world's not going to materialize by itself, that it's going to need help, a borning.
What kind of help?
Mr. Cody, those who poison our society, the vermin, the scum, the rabid animals, they must be tracked down and rooted out.
Oh, so then you're a vigilante.
No, quite the opposite. We carry warrants on every man we pursue.
And when you find him,
We turn them over to the proper authorities.
do you collect the reward?
We take our due,
Like bounty hunters.
like good shepherds, Mr. Cody. Come on, have a seat. You see, William, we distribute that money to those in need. The God-fearing men and women who are the backbone of this great nation.
I'm sorry if I insulted you.
No offense taken.
That sounds like fine work.
Indeed. Perhaps you'd like to join us.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, because I just don't think much good can come from it, that's all.
The only way the West can truly be lost is with defeatist thinking like that. Instead, each person needs to assume a personal responsibility for doing the Lord's work, making a path to that new Jerusalem. And you know, William, God places a special responsibility on the exceptional and the strong, like yourself.
Well, give me a night to sleep on it.
You take as much time as you'd like. I don't want you with us unless your heart is truly in it. You know, William, a great man once wrote, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Now, you might want to remember that.
Gideon, you better hear this.
My mama. They took my mama.
It's all right, son.
His name's Matthew.
It's all right, Matthew. Now, stop crying, Matthew. We can't help you if you don't tell us what's wrong. Now, calm yourself and tell us.
My mom and sister, they tied him up and they did bad things to him, and they took him away.
Where's your father, man?
The Blodgetts. They killed him.
Where's Marshall?
Oh, he's an old drunk. He left town the minute he heard about it.
Are those the men, Matthew?
You gotta help my mama.
We're gonna help your mama. Caleb, take the boy. Simon, saddle up the horses.
Regulators, let's go!
Mr. Cody, why don't you ride with us and see what business we are about?
You know, I wasn't fooling around this morning. Swimming hole.
Well, if that wasn't fooling around, kid, you sure doing a good job taking it.
That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the other thing.
What other thing?
You know, the other thing. Doing what's proper like how we were brought up.
Well, you know what they say, kid? Haste makes waste.
Run her up!
That's me.
What exactly these Blodgetts do?
They violated and murdered a 14-year-old girl in front of her mother. Then they did the same to the mother.
See for yourself what kind of men they are, William.
The men, they're ready to move in.
No, it's too dangerous. Nobody moves in until someone can get a clean shot of their nest.
Get ready to give the signal.
Ah! That was one prodigious shot, William.
What happens to him now?
Well, Caleb and Simon will deliver him up to the federal marshal in Abilene.
Ah, you look like you live pretty good, Gideon.
Well, I'm neither profligate nor Puritan, William. Hang on a minute. William, how's it feel to be one of us?
something right for a change.
Serving God is the only way to fill the voids, Will. Believe me, I know.
I believe you, Gideon.
Gideon, hold up. How'd it go?
Fine.
That's it.
Got some more business.
Fine.
How'd you get back so soon? Oh, I ran into a detachment of cavalry and delivered up the block that's into their custody.
Excellent. Who's next, Caleb?
Horace Pullman, wanted for bank fraud and embezzlement.
Mr. Cody? Robbed the good homesteaders of their hard-earned money.
Let's go. Teaspoon?
Kid.
You got a minute?
Yeah, I got two. What's on your mind?
I need some advice.
Kid, you come to the right place. Marshalling may be my business, but advice is my calling.
It's about Lou.
Ah, yes, Louise.
I don't have much experience with women, Teaspoon. And ever since y'all found out Lou ain't a boy, well, she's becoming more and more of a woman.
Time and distance, son. That's the key to understanding women.
Time ain't the problem, Teaspoon. It's the distance that I'm having trouble with.
Distance, huh?
Me and Lou, we've been getting real close.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I mean real close. Like in the Bible. Now, I know that what we're doing is wrong. And I've tried to do the right thing by Lou, but she won't take me serious and confuses me.
Confuses you, huh?
Yeah. Because if she cared about me, like I know she does, then she should take me serious. Because Lord knows if we don't do things to make things proper, then something terrible could happen. And that scares me. So I think that maybe we should try not to stay as close. But then, to tell you the truth, that scares me even more. So what do you think, Teaspoon?
Well, kid, I think you're gonna have to do a little more thinking. That's what I think.
Was it true?
Was what true?
About Millie and you. I swear on my dead mother's eyes. Fine woman. Finest I ever met. Except for the fact she can't cook. What? I said the woman is incapable of preparing an edible meal.
She's only the best cook in the territory.
Millie? She don't know a spatula from a spittoon.
What?
You're fabricating this whole story. She ain't never cooked for you.
Oh, no? Let me tell you about the birthday dinner she cooked for me. It's only the plumpest, tenderest turkey you ever tasted.
Stuffed with cornbread and chestnuts, served with lioness potatoes and them little bitty pearl onions and fresh carrots she growed herself. All of it washed down with a bottle of wine